Hello and welcome back to Art. It is so great to have you here. We are going to have a ton of fun with this project today. I think you're going to love it because it's 3D. Ooh, there goes the bell. Even the bell is excited to do this project with us today. Oh my gosh, how exciting. So today we are making paper sculptures. We're going to be taking something that is normally 2D or two-dimensional, flat, and changing it to 3D, something that pops out of the page. I cannot wait. First, let's look at some examples so you can see what's possible, and then you're going to have some time to brainstorm or come up with ideas of your own. So let's take a look at some funky paper sculptures. First off, we see this paper sculpture has a lot of shapes. I see 3D triangles and squares and circles mixed with flat circles and triangles and squares, which is kind of fun. Here are some of the basic shapes that I'm going to show you today. We see lots of strips of paper, but they can be used in quite a variety of ways. Even simple loops and bridges can be combined to make an awesome sculpture, so you'll get to layer some of your pieces as well. And this one's just crazy fun, am I right? This just looks like a party or fireworks. Another goal of ours is going to be to fill up the sculpture with lots of different things. We want to make sure it's full and exciting to look at. So I'm going to show you a couple of different techniques or ways that you can make your own paper sculpture. And then I want to see what you're going to make. So let me open my camera so you can see what I am making. I'm also making a silly face. Hello. There's my face. Okay, there's my camera. Saved by the camera. So let's talk about how to make a paper sculpture. First off, you're going to want some paper from your kit. You can use a full piece. You could even use 2 pieces of paper from your kit. One piece will be the base. Oh, here, now you can see me. One piece will be the base, and the other piece we will use to make colorful strips of paper that we can use to actually build the sculpture. You can also, if you want to make like a smaller sculpture, just use one piece of paper and cut it in half like this. Turn it sideways. Bring one side to the other side. I like to use these fingers to hold it in place and line it up. Then when it looks good, pinch it down and press. Then that fold gives me a line right down the center of my paper that I can cut. One half will be for the base of my sculpture. The other half I will use to make some colorful strips of paper like I mentioned. So the other things you'll need from your kit are your scissors today, a glue stick from your kit, or if you've got a glue bottle at home, these work really nicely too, and some markers. Now, if you like crayons better or you like colored pencils better, you can use those too. I am using markers for today because I like those. All right. So using these markers now, we're going to make the strips of paper that will become our sculpture. You can design them in any way you want. I like to do a variety of lines because I think I want to make like a roller coaster situation for my paper sculpture. If you've ever been on a roller coaster, you know that they are super fun and super scary. It is a funny mix of feelings on a roller coaster, isn't it? Miss Hans used to love to go on roller coasters when she was a kid, but now if she goes on a roller coaster, she feels like she's gonna barf. So I can't go on roller coasters anymore, which is kind of a bummer. But maybe you can, and that's exciting for you. Enjoy them for me. In fact, did you know that Miss Hans can't even go on a swing, like on the playground, without feeling like kind of pukey? Huh, what a bummer. Enjoy those swings for me, kids. Okay, so after you make some strips, you can do different kinds of lines too. You can see I did some wavy lines, some zigzag lines, some dashed lines. We're going to cut those into strips now. So I'm taking my scissors and cutting them the long way. These are my roller coaster tracks. Maybe you want to make a sculpture of a jungle gym or something else, whatever you like. So let's pretend that I've made a couple more now with the same sheet of paper. Awesome. So now I'm going to show you how to turn these 2D funky pieces of colorful paper into an actual sculpture. The first thing we're gonna make is a bridge. A bridge is just a simple curve like this with a piece of paper. The trick is that to make something stand, you need to give it feet. Just like we have feet, you need to give your sculpture feet, and here's how we do it. We simply take each end and fold it down to make a little flap. Hello, there's my flap. Flap it on this end too. You can flap them in or you can flap them out like this. It's really up to you. I think I'm going to flap mine out so you can see the designs. All right. Now on each one of these little feet, I'm going to put some glue. I'm using my glue bottle since I have one of those. I think they work slightly better. But if all you have is a glue stick, that's okay too. All right. So I'm putting just a little dab of glue. You really don't need too much. The trick to this is that you only need a little glue, but you press it down for a lot of time. So now see how when I push this together, it bends? That's how I'm gonna hold it down on my paper, pressing on those little feet. And honestly, you should press down for like at least 15 seconds. Let's count together. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. That was 15. And I switched to Spanish just to make sure you were paying attention. Okay, so there's our awesome bridge. Now, of course, you could make it even funkier. Let me show you how to do a double bump. If I put a little drop of glue right underneath the very middle of my bridge, boop, there's my dip of glue. I can push the middle down. And I'll come a little closer so you can see. I can push the middle down onto that dot of glue and hold that down for another 15 seconds. Kind of make some adjustments to my bumps here to make sure they're looking good. And you can see now I've got a double bump. Miss Hans would definitely barf on this roller coaster. There we go. So that's how you make a bridge and a double bump. Now let's get even funkier, you guys. I'm going to take my next strip and I'm going to fold it into a, oop, there's the bell again. The bell is so excited for the next step. And I'm going to fold this next one into a loop. So if I take a little glue on one end, bloop, that was a funny sound, then connect the other end and press down. Remember, you really only need like a dot of glue, otherwise you get it like oozing out the edges and then your hands get all sticky and then you're going to stick to your art and you're going to become part of the sculpture and you'll just have to live out the rest of your life as an artwork, which actually sounds kind of fun, but don't do it. Okay, now I've got this beautiful loop and I could stick it somewhere else on my base, or maybe I could even combine it and stick it on top of my double loop, like there's a Ferris wheel on top of the roller coaster. Oh my gosh, or a loop-de-loop. Ooh, kind of looks like a little hamster wheel or something. Maybe this is a theme park for hamsters. I bet one of you out there is going to build that. That would be so fun. Okay, it's not sticking. If it doesn't stick, let's give it a little bit more glue. Try holding again for 15 seconds. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Okay, woohoo, there we go. I got a loop on top of a double bump. Super fun. Of course, it fell over. Miss Hans doesn't have enough patience to hold these down for long enough. Now, to make other shapes besides bumps, bridges, and loops, you just need to make some simple folds in your paper. So let's try that next. We're going to make a triangle and a square. This is fun if you want to build like furniture for your sculpture. Maybe you want to make a mini house or something. I'm going to take this strip, and starting at the bottom, I'm going to fold up 4 times. A square has 4 corners, so we need to fold it 4 times. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Now, here's the tricky part. See how I got this extra little tail right here? I don't need that. That's going to get in my way when I make my square, so I can trim that bit off. So now I've got 4 folds in my paper. When I unfold or unwrap it, I have a flap at this end and a flap at this end. Watch what happens when I overlap the flaps. A little bit of glue, overlap the flaps. Oh, there's my square. It's beautiful. Now this could be like a table and you could make little chairs to push in. This could be part of a building. You could stack a bunch of squares on top of each other to make levels of like some skyscraper. Maybe there's a city right next to your roller coaster theme park. It's up to you. Combining the shapes is really what makes this fun. For my next one, I'm going to make a triangle. And triangles have how many corners? 3, right? So let's fold it 3 times. 1, 2, fold up, and 3. Remember what we do with the extra bit? Chop it off. Goodbye. There we go. Now when I unfold, it's just like the square. I've got a flap on this end, a flap on this end, and let's combine them with a little glue. Boop, I overlap the flaps.
Good.
There we go. Now we've got our beautiful triangle that we folded using 3 folds and connecting those end flaps. You could use this triangle maybe even to combine with the square and make a little roof for a little teeny tiny house. That could be super fun. Now there's tons of stuff that you can do with paper sculpture, and I mean tons of different ways that you can fold and bend and combine all these super fun shapes. So for that last one, I want you to come up with your own idea. Maybe you want to make a spiral by wrapping it around. Maybe you want to see what happens if you do 5 or even 6 folds for a shape. Maybe you want to see how you can combine it with the other parts of your sculpture, but I'll leave that up to you. So when you're done making your beautiful paper sculpture, don't forget to send me a picture. I want to see what you made. Have a great day.